is like almost like historic. Kendall, you want to take the reins on this? You want to introduce it, or you want me to just go ahead and introduce it?
Yeah. So there was an article in USA Today about Tony Evers, who's the Wisconsin governor. He basically got real creative with
Democratic
powers.
Democratic Wisconsin governor as well.
Yeah, Democratic Wisconsin governor Tony Evers. But he got real pulled some tactics with his veto power, and then basically increased public school funding for 400 years. So, which is insane. And it's literally 400. But anyway. So
explain. Can you explain? Okay. I got you. Go ahead.
So Tony Evers actually used to be a public school educator. So he, has always been kind of a proponent about education and the importance of it. So basically what he did was he used his authority to sign into law a state budget that increases the funding for public schools. So basically what he did was in Wisconsin, there's a few states that have it, but most states don't. They have like a partial veto power that they can use in certain elements. Republicans have done it, like
Wisconsin got line item vetoes, right?
Line item vetoes. I can't remember his name, but the governor, former Republican governor that we used to have some years back, he used to
big head dude who got rid of unions and stuff.
Right.
Thompson.
Scott Walker.
No, it's
Thompson. You talking about Tommy Thompson?
It might have been Tommy Thompson. I can't. I had to pull it up.
Scott Walker, big head.
Walker too, but it was another one before him. But anyway, so Evers got creative with it, and he used some of it from the budget. So he crafted the school aid extension by striking a hyphen and a 20 from a reference to the 2024-2025 year. So basically, he just took the slash out of the 24/25 and moved it and put it and made it 24/25. So basically, like, you can do line item vetoes to Blaze's point, and that's basically what he did. So the increase is $325 per student. It's pretty much the single highest year increase in revenue limits in their state history right now. So this move will ensure district, state impose limits on how much revenue that they're allowed to raise. So he raised that on the increase of the $325 per student until 24/25. So it creates a permanent annual stream of new revenue for public schools, and they're potentially curbing a key debate between Democrats and Republicans during each state budget cycle that they go through. So he kind of shut all that shit down. So Evers was also quoted as saying that this action will, quote, provide school districts with predictable long-term increases for the foreseeable future. And the veto was also a part of, he had like 4 dozen different pieces that he vetoed throughout other portions of this document. So what was also in the document was a $99 billion 2-year state budget for Republicans, where they passed last week. So basically what he did was, among the vetoes within that, he was able to stop the Republican lawmakers from budgeting a $3.5 billion tax cut for the wealthiest residents in Wisconsin. So he shut that shit down. And basically he cut taxes for the rich, and then also kept the middle class taxes where they are, so that they didn't have to feel the brunt of that shit, basically. So basically helping the middle class, which is very rare. So he also stopped.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, I know you said he moved it to 2025, but he changed it to 2024-25. So
exactly
400 years.
Exactly. So it was 24-25 that the budget was supposed to just be about. He went in and crossed that shit out and changed it and said, I want it to be for 400 years. So that's gangster. That shit's super boss, bro. Like, I give dude all the credit in the world for that shit.
I think he a good one.
Nah, for real. Like, nah.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire.
Nah, for real. That is amazing.
I think that he was an educator. That
right. He's
how it was.
He actually cares.
Right. Exactly. Because he understands the effect of it. It bothers him because he see it up front. That's generally how you make change. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being all the way over here and not knowing what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, kid. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you good. You good. It's fine. So he stopped Republican legislators from basically redistributing wealth from the bottom to the top, because that's generally what they'll do. They'll cut shit, cut funding, cut schools, cut this, and then they'll put that money back up to the Republicans. So he basically stopped all of that and cut their $3.5 billion tax cut as a result of some of the shit that they were doing to him. And I'll get further on that. So the Wisconsin Assembly Speaker, who's a Republican, his name is Rob Voss, he said legislative Republicans worked tirelessly over the last few months to block Governor Evers' liberal tax, of course. Unfortunately, because of his powerful veto authority, he reinstated some of it today. So they pissed, like a lot of Republicans is pissed, but they can't really do anything because they don't have the power to do it. They need basically 2 Democrats in order to get that done. So Dan Rossmiller, who represents the Wisconsin Association for School Boards, although he's appreciative of the move, he thinks that the impact of the additional funding could vary between districts, and he's worried that the increases won't exceed or meet the rate of inflation for some districts. So I think he's mostly talking about, like, places that have color. You know what I'm saying? Will this money be redistributed the right way in these other areas or these school districts? So that because of the inflation, it's going to really impact them. So he was quoted as saying, with inflation at 40-year highs, it's really important to be able to attract and retain teachers and staff, and to be able to pay the increased cost of everything in the school district's budget. So they will use that money to also pay teachers and try to also put stuff in for, just to expand, education and curriculum, things like that. The Republican, I'm almost done too. The Republican legislative leaders did not immediately say whether or not they will override the budget. But like I said, they don't have the veto-proof supermajority. They have to have at least 3 Democrats to join them in overriding the vote, and they're not going to.
It would be very difficult for them to turn that back.
Right, they're not going to get that because Democrats ain't going to come and help them for that shit unless you get some, that might be under the donors' thumb. You know what I'm saying? If they get money from them, then maybe, but I doubt that's going to happen. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kim.
Republicans also could create a vote when a handful of Democrats are absent. So that's the only other tactic that they could try. But you see what I'm saying? Like, they always trying tactics to get shit done their way. And Tony Evers is like throwing that shit in their face and saying, okay, then I'm gonna do the same thing. So I just want to say bravo to him. He basically negotiated this veto power, and he used his authority to make significant change, similar to, like I said, some of the tactics that Republicans do all the time. Because basically what they did was they struck down several things that Evers wanted to try and enact, such as like expansion of Medicaid. He was also trying to get paid family leave for parental leave and stuff like that in Wisconsin. Because that'd be great for parents, especially single parent households. They still getting paid regardless of the fact. And so he was like, okay, well, y'all gonna strike that down on my shit? Well, I'm gonna strike down them tax cuts. So I just love to see that a Democrat who got a backbone actually did something and using his power the right way. So salute to dude.
Yeah, shout out to.
He used the power that they've been using to do shit on their side for a while. So
right.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not a lot of states that have line item veto. So it's not a lot that have that power. But to your point, they always will they shit as much as they can to try to make whatever change they want.
I just think it's super dope because, like, if you live in Wisconsin, you're a taxpayer, especially in the inner city where most of the MPS schools are.
Yeah.
Very little of your tax money is going back into the schools that your kids go to, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to think of it like in terms of like these wealthy cuts that he struck down. It's mostly to these Republican donors. So like that's why they so heated right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they totally want to stop all this shit, but they ain't gonna be able to get that veto.
Yeah, like I said, shout out to Tony Evers, fam. Like, I thought this was like extremely dope because we always talking about how people don't care, and like I said, this is a former educator himself, and like I said, he's done something. He's made progress. This isn't perfection to the school superintendent's point. You know what I mean? But this is progress, and it's a big thing because this, like I said, it damn near increases their funding indefinitely. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I
400 years is crazy.
Yeah, 400 years is nuts. I've never seen no shit like this before. That was one of the most gangster moves.
He was real petty with that. He said, "I'm about to make
that line item is so hilarious, bro.
I'm gonna make y'all real mad."
I know he was chuckling when he was going through that shit and just scratching shit.
Oh, he definitely laughed. Like, hey, yo, look at this shit.
He probably
gonna change this.
Yeah.
He said, He said, "I'm finna hit their ass."
And I'm gonna cut that $3.5 billion that you wanted to get in it to your legislators. Hell no, to your donors. We ain't giving that shit out.
That's lit. Shout out to Tony Evers. Like I said, a good one. Y'all
protect
better
that man.
That's all I'm about to say. Y'all better protect that man. Y'all and all our listeners out there, everybody support this show, listen to this podcast. Y'all better go vote him the fuck back in because y'all know Wisconsin had the last few terms. So keep him in office. Protect that man.
And they got the Democratic power too right now, so definitely keep him in because he actually gonna get some shit done. At least it appears that way for right now. Until somebody maybe call him on the phone and be like, "We give you a couple million to shut the fuck up."
Hey man, something else I want to bring back this week. I don't know if y'all got anything because I didn't put it on the docket, but favorite things. I don't know if y'all reading anything.